Hi everyone, this is Jim Nicholas, and today we're going to talk about Outgunned, an action RPG that is played on a tabletop by two blind mice. So, what is Outgunned? As you can probably tell from the cover and some of the art here, it's an RPG that replicates action movies. It's about being cinematic, not simulationist, so it doesn't really care about things like how many bullets you have in your gun. You get to play common characters and tropes like James Bond, Rambo, John Wick, the Too Fast Too Furious crew, or the A Team. And it really doesn't matter what kind of action movie you love. This game does that. There's also a really unique dice system here where you roll a lot of d6s and you try to look for matches. And that gets really exciting when you're just on the cusp of success. So, why might you love this game? Number one, if you are a fan of any of the movies that I mentioned so far and you want to roll a lot of dice, this game is for you. I think the mechanics of the game really support what the theme is action movies. You're trying to find matches, so sometimes you're rolling like 5, 6 dice and you're trying to get like multiple matches and things like that. It can get quite difficult. There are mechanics in place that help you re-roll dice, so it becomes very exciting. You always kind of feel like you are on the cusp of success, and I think that's like a really exciting thing. The other thing also is the game is a very fail forward kind of game. So even though you fail the roll, you still do what you want to do, but maybe you take some damage and things like that. Just like how a normal action movie would feel like. The other thing also is the game already has some really exciting and cool setting expansions. So things like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, John Wick, Ghostbusters, and stuff like that. These are all settings that you can place your game into, and they have unique classes and abilities that are specific to those settings, and it helps really give the game a lot more, what do you call that, range. And if you also want to play like a power fantasy kind of game, this is the game for you. There are a lot of ways where your character can take the spotlight, so to speak, and go up to center stage. In fact, there is a mechanic called Spotlight. Basically, you can have three of these at any one time. These are quite hard to come by, so you should plan them when you have them. They allow you to get auto success on one of your roles, or even help you save your friend, things like that, remove a condition, things like that. But it's a special ability that says you get to do cool stuff now, and that's like a really flashy moment in any action movie. There's also something called Plan B, where you can kind of come up with a plan that you had beforehand, kind of thing. So it's similar to a flashback in Blades in the Dark, where let's say you're cornered by a bunch of terrorists by the peak of the mountain, and you have nowhere to run. You're like on the cliffside, and then you call for a Plan B. uh, Maybe I have like a CIA contact that it has a plane coming and I can jump on and hook onto that plane and get out. That's something you can do for with Plan B. However, there's only one Plan B every campaign, so you gotta use that wisely and only in the most desperate of situations. The game makes it very hard for your character to die, but it's very easy for a character to get hurt because once again, the dice mechanic in this game, sometimes it can be hard to get those matches. The other thing is why you may hate this game. Number one, it's a dice game, so it can get really, really swingy. Uh, for a basic roll, so basic roll is you just get like a single match. That is not a big deal. If you have 5 to 6 dice, you are pretty much guaranteed to get that single match. Thing comes in when have to get multiple matches, or you have to get matches of 3, 4, or even up to 5. So there are a lot of mechanics in the game. There's a mechanic called adrenaline that lets you re-roll dice, so that's always cool. Uh, and you get your adrenaline by doing cool stuff. And there's even a mechanic in the game called catchphrase, where you can kind of recite the catchphrase, and if it fits like the moment in the story, you get to refill some of your adrenaline. So let's say, I don't know, I'm struggling with this guy on the floor. He's trying to like pin me down, but I push him off at the last moment and go grab my gun and spin around and I say, I never miss, and I shoot him. I get that adrenaline back if my catchphrase is I never miss. So stuff like that. It's really cool cinematic stuff. I love how the game kind of really encourages you to go for these really campy, cheesy kind of action moments that make action movies so fun, basically. And I think the game does a great job replicating that. But anyway, if you're not uh, into swinging games, probably this is not for you. The other thing also is if you're looking for a tactical combat system, this game is not for you. The action is very fast and furious. It doesn't really matter how well you position yourself or anything like that. There is cover in the game and ranges, but movement is not really a big deal. It's more cinematic action. It's not a game that rewards you for playing super well. In fact, you're probably gonna get more out of this game by taking like crazy risks, like a true action hero, and going out in a blaze of glory, that kind of thing. Uh, if you like games like that, then this is for you. If you don't, then yeah, there's not much here for you. Next thing also is again for those people who are really like your build, your character builds and things like that. Uh, there's not much here. Most of the talents in this game are for you to do rerolls. So, for example, if you have the sharpshooter feat, it allows you to get a free reroll when you shoot with a rifle, or if you have the silver tongue trait, it allows you to get a free reroll when you're persuading somebody to do something. So there are talents out there that kind of give you additional skills and things like that, but those are quite hard to come by versus those that just give you free rerolls. So there's that. The other thing also is I touched on this a little bit before, the Deus Ex Machina mechanics of the game. So the stuff like your Plan B and your auto successes and things like that. Um, if you don't like that kind of stuff, this game is not for you. Uh, and I know what you're thinking right now, players. You're gonna love this Deus Ex Machina kind of thing, but here to burst your bubble a little bit, because this also applies to the villains. The game straight up says that there is no way for you to kill the main antagonist of the campaign until the final showdown. So even if you get like you roll 6 dice and you get 6 matches, whatever it is, nothing much happens to the villain. Maybe you like handicap him somehow, but he's gonna come back with like a mech suit at the end at the final showdown to kind of face off with you. So stuff like that, give and take. But I think with all these things in place, it really drives home that action movie kind of feel and fun, basically. So yeah, that's it for Outgunned. At the Alternative RPG Club, we'll be running our first Outgunned game in May. And that's going to be set right here in Singapore, where you're trying to stop a terrorist threat at Marina Bay Sands. If you're interested in signing up for something like that, please go to the website and fill out the form, the sign up form, and we'll get in contact with you. And if you're not based in Singapore, that's fine. You can kind of fill up the form anyway and pick online instead. We run online games as well, so that's not an issue. But yeah, I think this is a very exciting, very great game, and I can't wait to run it. I can't wait to play it, and I can't wait to see you guys at the table soon. This is GM Nicholas signing off. Bye bye.